A trade idea has now been thrown out into the universe. Mac Jones from the San Francisco 49ers to the New York Jets. We talk about that trade proposal, that trade idea out there in the universe, and weigh whether that's a good idea, bad idea, or anything in between. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Leston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Welcome to the program, everybody. We've got a full article in the YouTube description down below on this Jets-49ers trade idea. We're going to vet it out. We're going to talk about it. It's also the poll on our YouTube channel right now if you guys would like to share your thoughts. And here is the question. Would you be interested in a world where Mac Jones is the Jets QB1 in 2026? That would be via 49ers trade, which we're about to get into. Yes, clear upgrade, or no, I hate Mac Jones. Which, by the way, I do hate Mac Jones, but maybe after we talk through this, you may say, you know what? I think I'm in on Mac Jones. Because there is a lot of attractiveness with Mac Jones, and if you would have told me that a couple of years ago, yeah, boy, not sure if that's would have been in there as well. All right. A couple of things here. First off, a membership from MFC gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Let's go. Appreciate you. Yeah, now. By the way, that is a 13th raffle ticket for MFC. You're inside our top 6 of most gifters or biggest gifters or whatever you want to describe that as. So a big salute to our guy MFC, who is in the top 6 of most raffle tickets so far this month. That membership went to Ryan King. Ryan King, you're now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to MFC. And before we go on, I see my guy Hennessy Heisman had a comment in here I want to highlight real quick, and then we're going to dive into the deep end of this pool. Where was that action here on the program? Where was it? There it is. Hennessy Heisman. Just draft your damn guy. Well, here's the thing, Hennessy Heisman, that what we're about to talk about today is not about this or that. This would be both. The Jets need a quarterback for 2026. They need a quarterback for this upcoming season. And spoiler alert, it ain't Justin Fields. It's not Tyrod Taylor. He's a free agent. So it's neither of those guys. Okay? None. Neither. No. So you need a guy. Now, the Jets have fucked up quarterback development plans since the dawn of time. And one of the common mistakes the Jets have made is draft a guy and just, boom, you're the guy. Zach Wilson, you're number 1. No real competition, you're the guy. And then the quarterback isn't ready, and it's a disaster. So what I would like for the Jets, and Greeny talked about this, Mike Greenberg, a wink. You guys can check that out in our video section from a couple weeks ago. He joined us on the show, and he said his preference is the Jets draft a quarterback, and then bury him like on the depth chart and let him just develop and no threat of coming into the game and get a real veteran quarterback to come in here. The only problem is that there's no real veteran quarterbacks that are set to be free agents that fit that category. The only one that does is Daniel Jones, and he's going to get franchise tagged by the Colts, obviously. The Colts gave up all their ammunition, first-round picks, where they could have gotten their own young quarterback. So they have no other choice. They're going to have to franchise tag Daniel Jones or sign him to a long-term deal or both at some point later in the season. So just draft your damn guy. I don't think it's veteran or draft. I think the Jets are picking option C. I think they're doing both, quite frankly. And I think that's what we're going to explore here on the show. I see some more memberships being gifted real quick before we get into the thick of business here. Shout out to NC Green, who just gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Appreciate you. We'll add that to your total. And Mahar Khalil hit the re-sign button, baby. Yeah. all of these noises and things, if you're new to the channel, we do giveaways every single month on this channel. This month is a massive Marty Lyons autograph package. We've got an autographed Marty Lyons jersey. We have an autographed Marty Lyons hat. Both of those items are gifted on December 1st. If you want a chance to win those, all you have to do is spend $3 here on the channel. And at any point this month, and you have an opportunity. Mahar Khalil hit the re-sign button. That's a raffle ticket added to his total. He's now at 37 raffle tickets so far this month. NC Green jumped on the board, gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. So he gets another raffle ticket. He's up to 15 raffle tickets so far this month. So terrific. Excellent action happening here on the program. By the way, the membership that was gifted from NC Green went to Sco. You're now a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. All right, let's do this. We'll get more raffle tickets later and appreciate all the love. I'll update the banner here in a second. Let's get to the trade. This was proposed by Max Dybel of Heavy Sports. He works at my company. The Jets get Mac Jones. The 49ers get a third-round pick in 2027. Now, that's not 2026. The next upcoming draft is 2026. The Jets don't have a third-round pick in 2026. They traded it for Hassan Reddick. Grand. And so if they were to give up a third-round pick, the only one they could give it up in is 2027, which is written in the piece down below. Now, you may say to yourself, a third-round pick for Mac Jones? Well, here are the contributing factors that make that very possible, folks. Very possible indeed. First off, let's start off at the bare basics. I mentioned it. There's not a lot of great veteran quarterback options. So the Jets want a veteran in free agency. Not one there. So if the Jets want a guy that has legitimate starting experience, they may have to find that via trade. We've talked about a couple of options so far. Well, Matt Lombardo brought up Trevor Lawrence. Benjamin Albright brought up Kyler Murray. And now today we're bringing up Mac Jones. Here's the latest dates on Mac Jones. He's 27 years of age. And last offseason, smart on the 49ers, they signed Mac Jones to a 2-year deal for $8.4 million max value. Okay? Think about this. This is why Mac Jones is attractive to me. For a couple of things, but this is a big reason. Mac Jones is set to make $3.5 million in 2026. $3.5 million. And the follow-up question is, where does that rank among the highest paid quarterbacks in football, Paul? Thanks for asking that follow-up question. I really appreciate it. That would rank 48th among quarterbacks. Think about that for a second. Mac Jones would rank 48th. He'd be the 48th highest paid quarterback in football with this $3.5 million salary. And you have to give up a third-round pick? Hell, we just lit a third-round pick on fire for Hassan Reddick. We can't do it to go get a veteran quarterback. So Mac Jones would be incredibly cheap. He's still young at 27. And obviously this season, he has shown that he still has some chutzpah. Mac Jones appeared in 9 games for the Niners this year. He's made 8 starts. He has a 5-3 record as a starter. He has a 69.6% completion percentage. That'd be the best in Jets franchise history, by the way. He's thrown for over 2,100 yards. He has a 13 touchdown to 6 interception ratio. Phenomenal completion percentage, great passing yards, and a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Wow, what's not to like here with Mac Jones? And according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, the 49ers are expected to get a ton of trade interest in Mac Jones this offseason. So there's a couple of things to factor in here. Number one, the 49ers already have their franchise quarterback, obviously, in Brock Purdy. So Mac Jones is expendable. Number one. Number two, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport says that, hey, a trade could totally happen here. Okay. Number three, you start looking at the attractiveness potential for the Jets. This guy's still young. He's dirt cheap for next year. You don't have to trade for him and sign him. Why don't you trade for him and let it play out and then see what happens? So if you're the Jets, you trade a third rounder, and not in this year's draft, it's the following year's draft for Mac Jones. They get a third round pick, but whatever. You get a starting quarterback for this year. And if he balls out, then we can have interesting conversations next offseason, not this one coming up, the next one after that, about do we want to do anything funky here. But the Jets should pair Mac Jones with a rookie quarterback, whether it's first round, second round, third round. We can talk about wherever that guy is and develop that guy behind Mac Jones. I know the Jets apparently are just raiding the cabinets of the 2021 draft class. Zach Wilson, didn't work out. Justin Fields, didn't work out. Mac Jones, the next guy on the list. There's a hit list here for the Jets, apparently. So, man, it's for just a third-round pick, especially when the Jets have all the picks they have. They have 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s. In 2027, they have 3 number 1s. They have their own 2. What's a third-round pick? Pass the biscuits. He's better than other options out there. So I'm going to be honest. The headline is correct. I hated Mac Jones and the Patriots. His stupid grittying, the fact that he was on the Patriots. There were some dirty-ish plays. He was the dirtiest player in the game. He was doing his Ric Flair impression. Woo! Doing some weird nut kicking and tripping and all kinds of other weird crap. Very strange. But damn it, he's winning ball games and he's playing very well. And that Kyle Shanahan has rebuilt him. And we need a veteran quarterback. So you guys can continue to vote on the YouTube poll and let us know if you'd be interested in that, yay or nay. And it was very stark to start the show, but now it's balancing out. So keep voting on youtube.com/boygreen25. You guys will also be able to call in about it. If you would have told me this like a month ago, I would have went, I don't know. But the more I marinate on it, the more I think it should be a legitimate possibility for the New York Jets. That I do. Let's keep going here. Oh, we got a big super chat coming through. A gold brick here from Hop on Pop. Every time we get a super chat, we hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna, who I miss dearly. I love you, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Also, I miss my son too, Paulie, and my beautiful fiance. I miss my whole family. It's been lonely here at the Esden residence, but we've been having a good time. You guys have kept me company, which I appreciate, in all these Boy Green Daily episodes. So Pop's asking about the raffle. So here you go. Hey now, give me that jersey hat combo, which, by the way, real quick, here it is, folks, for those who are curious about the Marty Lyons giveaway. It's that beautiful Marty Lyons autographed jersey. That is Marty Lyons, Alabama college football jersey. Okay. It's autographed to the Boy Green Coffee Club, our YouTube membership group. Thank you, Marty. And it says Roll Tide, Marty Lyons 93. On the bottom of the jersey is all of his accomplishments stitched in there. That was with the Jets from 79 to 89, former college football Hall of Famer, Jets Ring of Honor, all that jazz. So that jersey we're giving away. And shout out to Carl, we're giving away this beautiful Marty Lyons autographed accompanying hat. So both will go. A Marty Lyons autographed bonanza will go. We're giving that away on December 1st. You guys have the rest of November to send in your raffle tickets. They're $3 a piece. Hop on Pop just sent in a $10 super chat, which means he just got 3 more raffle tickets for the contest. Again, the more raffle tickets you have, the better your odds. But if you at least have 1 raffle ticket, you have a chance, baby. So make sure you guys take full advantage. Pop says, hey, now give me that jersey hat combo. Also, don't forget to save your money. Live beard shave drive for 100 memberships starts Sunday night. So for those who may have missed it, where someone didn't know what it was on the Thursday show, so I'll bring that back up. If the Jets lose to the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, and the line has flown all over the place, I've seen the Jets as much as a 15-point underdog in Baltimore, so yikes. Depending on the line that you're looking at, if the Jets lose to Baltimore, it has nothing to do with the spread. I was just pointing out how big of a favorite Baltimore is. I must shave down my beard. Not completely to baby bottom dolphin, but it's going to be pretty low. All this beautiful length I've been working on for a long time will all be gone because of a stupid bet I made. But if the Jets win, then the bet's null and void, and my burly beard survives. But if it does happen, and the Jets somehow in some universe lose to Baltimore, from Sunday night to about Wednesday sometime, or whenever it happens, I guess, as long as it happens within the week, we will live stream my beard being shaved. That was a thank you, Pop, for the lovely addition to that bet. We didn't negotiate that, but okay. So if 100 memberships gets donated somewhere between Sunday night and Wednesday, I'm going to be with my family for Thanksgiving. We will shave it off live. If the money doesn't come in, the beard will still be shaved, but you guys will just see me one day like this and then one day like this. But yes, if 100 memberships come in between the end of the Ravens game and the day before Thanksgiving, there will be a live beard shave that occurs. And maybe the memberships happen immediately and then we do it earlier in the week. We'll see what happens. But thank you, Hop on Pop, for this. Again, this feels messed up. I'm going to be honest. By the way, actually, this is 4 raffle tickets for Pop because the previous Super Chat combinations got him even more. So he's up to 18 raffle tickets so far this month. So big salute to Pop there as well. Appreciate it. There you go. Pop and Amamji, who have combined their action here to go up to 18 raffle tickets. That is now 3rd place. So shout out to Hop on Pop and Imamji, okay, for getting involved with 18 friggin' raffle tickets. Very nice. Appreciate that. Also, let's work this in here as well on the program. I see that NC Green also, as I just mentioned earlier, sent in a raffle ticket. So we're going to put NC Green in 4th place. Appreciate you, NC Green, with 15 raffle tickets. Beautiful. I'll continue to update the big board here in just a little bit, but that should update for the most of you that came through. So appreciate that. And you guys can keep those flowing. Again, all that is open for business here on the program. Let's go. All right. So thank you, Pop, for that lovely super chat reminder. All right, let me catch up on all your guys' comments and messages so far. Let me see. Dave Briggett says, Paul, get a head start. Begin trimming down that beard. It's less painful. Jets are going to beat Baltimore, so I don't need to trim my beard. They're going to do it. I got no doubts. Full eyes, clear hearts. They're going to take him out. So, yes, I have confidence in the Jets against the Ravens. So, yep, we're going to do it. I got no worries. Craig Mechanics, BG, who are the quarterbacks other than Mendoza that are coming out? Any interest in the Kentucky quarterback? Chat, don't kill me. I'm just curious. Impossible to say because it's sort of, because I don't know what the cutoff date is. Let me see. When do college football players have to declare for the draft? Let's see what the date is. January 15th. So the college football playoff is right in that mix. So anyway, the point I was going to make here, Craig, is, in the NCAA tournament, sometimes what can happen is a player in their mind says, oh, I'm not declaring for the draft before the tournament. Then tournament happens and, whoa, I went on a run. I did something. I caught the eye. Oh, now I'm entering. So sometimes the results of what happens can change that. So it's impossible to say with definitiveness, oh, Mendoza's coming, this guy's coming, that guy's coming. It's impossible to say. It's impossible to say at this point. So we're going to have to, for now, punt on that until we have more answers or more information, Craig. But I appreciate the question. Yeah, we have to wait to see. Yeah, but again, I'm interested in this Mac Jones situation. Jared B is interested in the 49ers coaches if we're going to do that. There you go. This is your test. Told you Mac was the way. I stand with ye old told you so. See? Again, I told you guys here on the show we're going to be we're going to have to explore all the options on this show. I'm not just going to go, Mac Jones, guy, we're never going to talk about quarterback speculation again. On this program, Boy Green Daily, we are going to investigate every legitimate option, and I will cover it in written form and dive into the details, what it looks like contractually, draft compensation, trades, all that stuff. That's what I'll do for you, the people, and we'll explore them on all these shows. This is a massive quarterback decision for the Jets, but as I mentioned earlier to Hennessy Heisman, it's not binary. It's not this or that. It's not A or B. It's both. The Jets should draft a quarterback, and they should acquire a veteran, whether that's by signing, trade, hook, or crook, I don't care. But they're going to need to do that. So, yes, Mac Jones was on the basket today, and I'm intrigued. NC Green says, BG, what would you have to give it for Mac? A fourth, maybe more? I think it's going to be more. So, again, Max Steibel proposed a third-round pick in 2027. If I'm the 49ers, I'm looking probably for a day 2 pick. Now, second rounder just feels way too rich. But a third rounder, while also rich, consider the position. Mac Jones, what did I say? 48th would be the 48th highest paid quarterback in football. The 49ers have a unique advantage with Mac Jones on the roster. Unless Mac Jones is going to throw a fit and start, you better get me out of here. I'm a starting quarterback, blah, 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 blah. He's given none of that energy, so I doubt that happens. That would be the only way you maybe get him for less if he's just throwing a fit in there. But the 49ers have an advantage, and I imagine they're not just going to give it away. I don't think a 7th or 6th round pick is going to be enough. I think it's going to be a legitimate pick. I think it could be as high as a 3rd. Maybe it's a combo of picks. Maybe it's a 4 and a 5 or 4 and a 6 or I don't know. But I think it's going to be legitimate assets, especially because the 49ers know what we've already talked about on the show. The quarterback market's weak. So that's their advantage even more. Oh, there's less options? Great. Supply low, demand high. That's going to result in some action here for the 49ers if they are to move him. And I think Kyle Shanahan would try to do right by Mac Jones if the price is right. I don't think he's just going to cut him and say, oh, go join your new team. Like, he's going to trade him. But, yeah, I think it's going to be costly. Again, not a first-round pick, absolutely not. Not a second-round pick. That would surprise me. But a 3rd round pick as like the height of the package, I could see that. I could. And again, if you're a Jets fan, look at the free agents, folks. Look at them yourself. We're swimming in Carson Wentz and Marcus Mariota waters. With all due respect, oh boy, these guys have not been legit. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. What's my dating profile for the veteran quarterback the Jets are exploring? It is this. This is my profile. I want a guy who has had legitimate starting experience recently. I'm trying to think of an example. If Daniel Jones shook free, he won't. But if he did, he started games this season. I don't want a guy that 10 years ago started games. Like Mariota is only starting games because Jaden Daniels is hurt. He's not a regular full-time starting quarterback. He's just a random guy. I want someone, and I guess you could argue that for Mac Jones too, with all due respect. So touche. But I don't know. I want someone that I'm going to feel good about. I don't want a Carson Wentz who is just over the hill. Marcus Mariota over the hill. I want to ensure. Here's the ultimate thing here with this. I want a quarterback that can be in there, that can start a season for the Jets. That's what I want. I don't want a Tyrod, with all due respect. A Tyrod this week? Yes, the Jets have no choice. So Tyrod Taylor, Baltimore Ravens revenge game, let's go, buddy. But he gets hurt all the time. So if your quarterback room next year was Tyrod, rookie, I'm very concerned. That rookie obviously is getting on the field. That's why I want some insulation. I want there to be a gap between whoever our rookie quarterback is and the starting lineup. I want it to be more than just one guy getting hit by a bus puts the rookie into the game. I want separation. I want them to be able to learn, develop on their own time. That's what I want, personally. Will we get that? Well, I guess we're going to see. So, appreciate it so far. A lot of activity. Thank you to MFC for gifting a membership, NC Green for gifting a membership, Mahar Khalil for hitting the re-sign button, and Hop on Pop for getting involved on the super chats. Again, all of that is available if you hit the YouTube money sign. If you're watching on YouTube, you can super sticker, super chat, gift channel memberships, and it's always available in the YouTube description down below. It's a quick button. Do you want to join the Boy Green Coffee Club? That's our YouTube membership group here on the channel. Feel free to do so. We have 100 people watching on YouTube, which we appreciate. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Make sure you guys get involved on our YouTube poll. Are you interested in Mac Jones? Yay or nay? Again, we'll also open up the phone lines here in a minute, and you can tell me to your face whether you think this is a stupid idea or not. We only have 18 likes on YouTube, so let's bump up those likes, people. If you're watching the show on YouTube, that's a free way to contribute. So take that button, take that like button to Pound Town, as my pop says. Let's see. Yo, Holmes. Fields averaged 156 passing yards per game before he was signed for $30 million. Only the Jets. Again, I don't get this dunking on the Jets. Well, I get an overall dunking on the Jets, but again, the Justin Fields contract is not as bad as people are making it out to be. $20 million for a starter, ranked 18th, 19th in the league. Who cares? And it's not like they signed him to a $100 million deal. the dead cap that they're going to eat, they're going to be plenty fine to do anything and everything they want to do. Now, would I have preferred a quarterback that we signed to immediately be null and void and we got to get rid of? Well, no. But, I mean, people are, if anyone's making fun of the Jets for this contract, it's not that bad. So, 30 million guaranteed, sure. But it's not my money. Not my money at all. So, I ain't worried about it at all. Let's go to Jesse Owens here. Boy Green Coffee Club member. Appreciate you, Jesse. Let's say, hypothetically, we draft Arvell Reese, the Ohio State linebacker. Okay. Who Drew Beatty says this is the best player in the draft. So great. Okay. We need help on defense. And we also want Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver out of Arizona State. And with the Indy pick, what are we giving up to move up? Well, I guess it depends on your perspective. Drew Beatty isn't as high on Jordan Tyson as consensus. So he has him as like a mid. I don't know if there's enough of a gray area here. Mid-late first round. So like anywhere from 15 to 25 is sort of where he has him. Indy's going to be picking in the 20s, probably, unless they win the Super Bowl, I guess 32. But they're picking somewhere in that range. So I don't know, give up a fourth or something. Like the Jets, if they wanted to do that, would be able to move up to get him. Now, again, we're talking about draft stock on November 19th. Obviously, a lot of things can change, Jesse. But I don't, again, that sort of easy strategy you mentioned before about building the rest of the team and then dropping in the quarterback later. That's a strategy. Now, you need someone for 2026, though, which the Jets don't currently have on their roster. So they do need someone as a veteran, but that's not a bad option of getting aggressive in the first round. Jesse, that's an intriguing choice. Very intriguing. Tony to GM. 49ers system makes the quarterback Jones is not an option. Well, then what is the answer? Everyone loves saying, this is a problem, clearly. This is clearly a problem. Well, what's the solution, Tony to GM? I'm open to solutions. You tell me, what is the answer? If the answer to the test is not Mac Jones, and I'm not saying unequivocally it is, again, what my role here is simply the EZ. I've been referencing a lot of EZ today. My goal here is simply to present ideas, vet them out. Hey, here's what the contract looks like. Here's what the stats look like. What do you people think in the audience? What do you think? That's sort of the back and forth, the tete-a-tete that we're having here. So if you don't think Mac is the guy, then that's totally fine. Who is the guy? We need to find the guy. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Let's go to Foxy. Dante Moore, the Oregon quarterback, could make $1.7 million in NIL money next season. If Dante balls out for the remainder of the season, he would make millions a year more being picked in the first round. That's true. But let's see what happens. Yeah, if he's a guaranteed number 1 overall pick, although is, taking the cheese early. If he thinks he needs another year in college to fully vet himself out, sure, you get the early run by going to the draft early. But if you suck, you get that first contract and then it's over. If you're more ready, you delay the money. You still get really good. $1.7 million for college. It's unbelievable. And then you get the rookie deal next year. And then if you're a really good quarterback, you get the second, third, fourth contracts. And those are massive. So, you got to play the long game. We'll see if he switches on that. Let's go to Joe Grana here on YouTube. BG, what would it take to sign Daniel Jones to a 3-year contract? At least $100 million. It's probably let's go. Well, first off, let me pull up the highest paid quarterbacks in football so I'm being accurate here on the annual salary I'm about to give old Daniel Jones here. Shout out to Over the Cap. All right, let's see. We're probably putting him in the let's see what Sammy gets. Sammy got 33.5, so he's probably getting more than Sammy did in free agency. Let's call it an even, especially again with the lack of other options. Let's call it an even 40. I'd put him in Matthew Stafford territory. Now, maybe he'd try to get more than that, but let's put him in the Matthew Stafford territory, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That would make him the 16th highest paid quarterback. So maybe he even shoots higher than that, quite frankly. But yeah, let's sort of round it out there. So let's say a 3-year deal for $120 million with probably like 85 million or something guaranteed. That's probably what it looks like. But again, if you're the Colts and you give up your first round picks, you're not letting Daniel Jones hit the open market. You're franchise tagging him and then using that to negotiate, exclusively negotiate a long-term deal. But yeah, if the Jets had a chance, I mean, it's probably 40 million plus. Although Daniel Jones already had 40 million on the prior deal with the Giants, and that's when he was just whatever. So again, he may even shoot higher than that. He might shoot for 45 million or something. But with the lack of options, that also behooves one Daniel Jones, again, if he's able to hit the open market. But good questions. I like the questions coming in. All right, let's do this. We got a couple hundred people in the room. Continue to like the video. Hit subscribe. We're trying to make a chase to 10,000 subscribers, but we're about to open up the phone lines here on the program here on a Wednesday. Actually, wait 1 second. We have a special guest joining us in just a moment. We'll play halftime out. More coming up.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. Fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, J-E-T-S, Jets. Fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go!
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Paul Ashton Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show. Welcome back. We will have a special guest joining us, but I'll also open up the phone line, so we'll do both. We have a new guest. Well, not a new guest, but we have a guest joining us on a new day and time moving forward. We'll introduce that in just a moment. The new pinned comment on YouTube is the call-in line. If you'd like to call into the program, now is the time to do so. That is youtube.com/boygreen25. If you'd like to call into the show, feel free to do so. Get your participation trophy. Whether you're a first-time caller or a long-time caller, we appreciate you all the same here on the show. By the way, the current YouTube poll, all right, YouTube's freezing up here. Let me get a look at this. The updated poll, right? The question was, any interest in Mac Jones being the next QB1 for the Jets? So we're at 60-40 split right now. 60-40 split, yes, on him being the next guy. Interesting. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We'll start off with Hep.
Hey, Paul. I get in a little late because I help my daughter-in-law get the grandkids out to school and everything.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I wind up getting around 8:00. Some of the days. So
Sure.
I don't know if you touched base on this or not. I'm curious about the young man that who got shot in the Midtown.
Yes. So here's the latest that we have on Chris Boyd. Thankfully, he is now in stable condition. So thank God for that. They're still looking for the alleged shooter. They still don't know whether or not Chris Boyd was targeted, like because he was an NFL player, or was he just in the wrong place at the wrong time? Some of those details are still out, but the good news is that Chris Boyd has been conscious, awake. He's spoken with the police a few times from the hospital. I believe he still has a bullet lodged somewhere in his lung. So they were able to have, he's had multiple surgeries from what's been reported. So the good news is that he's stable. Whether it's still critical or not is still up in the air, I guess, with the bullet still on you. But the fact that he's stable now, because before it looked a little dicey if he was going to make it, which of course is incredibly scary. So yes, Chris Boyd, for those who missed it, got shot over the weekend, and he has had plenty of surgeries, but he's still staying in that local hospital out there in New York. So continue prayers for him. And then they're still looking for the shooter. They released some suspect images and things of that nature, but the last I checked, they have not caught anybody yet.
Where do we get? I don't even really remember Chris Boyd. Is he on the is he a backup or what's his...
Yeah, so in the offseason, the Jets signed him to a one-year deal for $1.6 million. Now he's listed as a defensive back, but it's like Justin Hardy back in the day. He was listed at a position, but he never played it. Like Irv Charles. We don't get a lot of Irv Charles wide
A
receiver
special
reps, which,
teamer.
by the way, yeah, 100%. So he was a special teamer, and they signed him in the offseason. He's supposed to be a big guy. Unfortunately, he was out for the year with a shoulder injury in camp. So he was not going to play this year, and he only signed a one-year deal, so he's set to be a free agent in a couple of months. So a lot of fans probably hadn't heard his name in months, and then now they hear it for this horrific reason. So,
that's terrible, man. Thank God he's a young guy and he's an athlete. That probably helped him, survive.
Sure, right? Yeah, being in better shape to potentially recover from something so devastating. Yeah, we can only hope. Yeah.
Let's hope his career is not over. And send prayers. And I'll see you guys on the rebound.
I appreciate that, Hap. Again, we'll try to provide any updates that we can on the Chris Boyd situation as those details come in. All right, let's go to the phone lines and get comfortable, folks. Get used to this. It's Wednesday Faria action, baby. Nick Faria, our beat reporter from JetsXFactor.com, is here with us, and he'll be with us every Wednesday moving forward. We're calling an audible at the line of scrimmage. We got in the huddle, and Nick went like, hey, man, you've been having me run this slant. I kind of prefer a post. And I'm like, okay, man, you're the boss. All right, break. And then we got out to the play. So now some Wednesday action for Faria. Let's go. What's up, Nick?
How's everything going, Paul?
Okay, how's the post looking? Is your post getting, your little chop, shake, and bake action? How we doing there?
Nothing wrong with a good, solid post route. It's a beautiful route, beautiful combination.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, we'll give you I'll throw it to you here, Nick, because this was the theme of the day, and we'll be doing a lot of these kinds of episodes because of where the Jets are, about exploring quarterback options for the Jets in 2026. And my guy Max Dybel of Heavy proposed a trade between the New York Jets and the San Francisco 49ers to bring hated Mac Jones to QB1 of the Jets. And he says, hey, if the Jets flip a third-round pick in 2027 to the 49ers for Mac Jones, they'd get the 48th highest-paid quarterback in football next season with his $3.5 million salary. So you get a cheap option in a world where it looks like there are some questionable veteran quarterback choices for the Jets for a quarterback for the immediate, not talking about the long-term. We can figure that out later. What's your reaction to that potential deal?
I think it's certainly in the realm of possibility. I look at Mac Jones. I look at Kyler Murray, whatever happens in Jacksonville. I mean, there's going to be quarterbacks that are going to be available on the market for a trade over the next 6-7 months. But it also comes down to where the Jets are drafting. If they're picking with the 5th overall selection and most of those other teams above them they don't really need a quarterback. If Tyler Shuck continues to play well in New Orleans, the Giants have Jackson Dart, the Titans have Cam Ward. It's unlikely that any of these teams are going to go after the quarterback position. Because of that, then you have to think that Fernando Mendoza is going to fall to New York wherever they land. And they may trade up for him as well. That's also a possibility. And then the question becomes, okay, would you rather Mac Jones on a trade of a third-round pick or a trade up for a guy like Fernando Mendoza, who as of right now is a favorite for the Heisman? I mean, it's really going back and forth a little bit on what kind of concept you want to have for your starting quarterback. Quite frankly, the thing that people need to remember is you are replacing not one quarterback, but two. You're not just replacing Justin Fields. You're also replacing Tyrod Taylor, because as good as Tyrod Taylor is as a person, as strong of a leader as he is no longer the kind of guy that you can trust to go in for a month like Mac Jones and just stabilize the offense if the quarterback goes down. You can't trust him to do that. So the way that I look at it, you're replacing two quarterbacks. If they believe Mac Jones could be a quality backup to a rookie or a bridge to that rookie, keeping the rookie off the field until they absolutely have to, which I always will push is the smart move for organizations like this, that's in the realm of possibility. I just don't want to say it's Mac Jones or bust, because if they're picking with the number 1 overall pick or the number 3 overall pick, they're drafting a quarterback. And I think most people would agree, if you fall in love with a guy, you get your guy.
Can you do both? So we were talking about this earlier as well. Like, okay, let's say they or make it up. They have the number 1 overall pick. They take Fernando Mendoza. Phenomenal. I've Mendoza. Let's go. But like with a lot of the failures of the Jets, and that doesn't mean it will be for Fernando, but for a lot of the failures of the Jets is hey, Zach Wilson, learn to swim, and shove him in the water, and then he drowns, and he's not able to figure it out on the fly. And that instead, maybe the Jets should have put him as a backup, had legitimate competition, or just a real starter in there, and Zach Wilson could just learn. So in this case, Zach Wilson's gone, so let's not worry about him. But let's say the Jets get Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall pick. Why not have, and we'll use Mac Jones for the example today. It doesn't have to be Mac Jones, but sure, Mac Jones, he's the clear starter. Fernando, learn quarterback, buddy. And Mac's a guy maybe all year. And then Mac's only signed for 1 more year through 2026. And then Fernando, you take over in 2026 if you're ready at that point. Can't they exploit, to your point, they're replacing not just one quarterback, they're replacing multiple. Why could they do that? Could they go get an established veteran, a Kyler Murray? We'll talk about him later. Kyler Murray, a Mac Jones, and then draft a guy, even in the first round?
I think that's very likely. I don't think they're just going to draft a quarterback and then just force him onto the field right away. There are going to be instances where if Mendoza, let's say Mendoza's the pick, if he just lights up training camp and he looks great and he looks to be the part, kind of like what Russell Wilson did in his first couple of years in Seattle. He was a 3rd-round pick, but people forget the Seahawks signed Matt Flynn to this, what was it, a 3-year long-term deal. And everyone's like, okay, well, Flynn's going to be the starting quarterback based on all of these principles because of his great performances with Green Bay during that short amount of time. And then they drafted Wilson and they saw him play and they were like, oh, we don't need to worry about this anymore. We're going with the rookie. I mean, that could certainly happen. But I just think no matter what, they will be signing or trading for a quality backup quarterback that is going to help them out in the long run. I think if there's sort of a dark horse candidate at quarterback, it's probably Tanner McKee from Philly. Like, a lot of people are going to like him. He's looked really, really good. And if you want a guy who's kind of in that Matt Flynn role where he's only played sparingly, but when he's played really, really well, that's somewhere you could go as well. And he's probably not going to cost as much as a Mac Jones or Kyler Murray, that kind of thing. So it all depends. It's still early in this process. They're going to have to figure out what they want in the starting quarterback. I just think when you look at it, going into 2026, if you draft Fernando Mendoza and he looks like the guy in OTAs, in rookie minicamp, in camp, then you kind of sit there and say, well, what are we putting him on the bench for? Are we putting him on the bench to learn? Or are we putting him on the bench essentially to hope that it doesn't all break down by week 1? That's the kind of back and forth you have to figure out. You look at Jackson Dart with the Giants. They sat Jackson Dart, which I thought was the best decision for the team. You never want to put your quarterback in a bad position. But if Jackson Dart was starting week 1, does Brian Dable still have a job? I think there's an argument to be said about that, because if he was playing and not getting killed in terms of running the football, I think the Giants are winning a couple more games. I think they're looking a lot better. And Dable is still probably coaching.
Perhaps. Now, let me do a quick follow-up on Tanner McKee. Okay, if Mac and this mythical Wolf costs a 3rd, how much would Tanner McKee cost in a potential trade if the Eagles were willing to ship him off?
Well, I'm sure Howie Roseman's going to say, well, Tanner McKee's a 2nd-round pick, and you better pay up in order for that to happen. But that's Howie Roseman, and he doesn't always get what he wants, even though it's remarkable what he's able to do at times. I would say probably a 4th-round pick is probably the go-to, and that would be a perception of Roseman of flipping an asset for greater value. Remember, Tanner McKee was a 6th-round pick. Getting him for a 4th would be phenomenal in terms of just value asset management. I think a 4th, maybe even a 5th, is probably the best bet. And the other thing is there's going to be a lot of people that look at McKee and say, okay, well, listen, he's looked great in the preseason. He's looked great in the limited amount of time we've seen him. But he's also played with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Any mediocre quarterback can look really, really good when throwing to those guys. So what does he look like when the receiving core is not perfect, when the offensive line isn't perfect? So there are questions that McKee's going to have to answer. But if you just look at the baseline tape of what he's been able to show, pocket presence, arm strength, accuracy. He plays the quarterback position like a starter. The comparison that I've made for him was Matt Schaub when he was with the Atlanta Falcons. He was the backup to Michael Vick. I look at McKee as the Matt Schaub, where he is not a guy that is Mahomes, who's going to just sling it up and down the field, throw for 80 yards on one pass, and oh my God, what an incredible day. But he's also the guy who's accurate, who can get his team wins, and who makes the smart decision. And I think when you have a quarterback like that, that gives you an opportunity to win.
We can only hope, and that would be beautiful. Okay, we're speaking with Nick Faria, our beat reporter from JetsXFactor.com here on the program. We'll go to the phone lines here in just a moment. I see people already calling in to ask questions to Nick, which are great. You guys can also send in your super stickers and super chat questions as well to get here on the program. Now, Nick, I want to reference your social media activity. Benjamin Albright joined me on the show maybe a week or two ago, and he says, hey, I'm just letting you know, Kyler Murray is going to be available this offseason, and the Jets are going to be one of the teams. And I'm like, oh, okay. And Nick Faria, you quoted that YouTube short with a face emoji and some shades. So you tell me, I don't know, I'm not all hip with all the lingo, what all the kids say. What were you saying to that Kyler Murray Jets rumor?
Well, it only enhances what was the article I wrote back in like early October, where I was essentially saying the exact same thing. Kyler Murray's time in Arizona is going to come to an end, and he's going to be available. And a quarterback needy team like the Jets could absolutely use a talent like that. And again, there are going to be some questions for Kyler that he's going to have to answer. His leadership concerns, the fact that he hasn't won a playoff game, the fact that he's only been to a playoff game in his career, all those things have to be included. But if the Jets are looking to compete, and they may not be in love with the 2026 quarterback class, they could throw Kyler Murray in there and say, screw it. Let's see what we got in this guy, and let's see what he can do with Garrett Wilson and this offensive line, which is significantly better than Arizona's, in my opinion, with an offense, with a defense, all of that, going into together. You're not playing in the NFC West anymore, where every single team is a juggernaut. You're playing in the AFC East, where the Patriots have looked good, but no one knows if it's sustainable in the next few years. The Buffalo Bills are good, but no one really knows how much longer they have together. And then the Miami Dolphins are in the middle of a rebuild. So it's a much different stratosphere in the AFC East than it is in the NFC West. And again, as I said in the article, if you're the Jets and you don't fall in love with a quarterback in the 2026 class, you don't just draft one for the sake of drafting one. You bring in a bridge. And quite frankly, if we're talking about bridge quarterbacks, Kyler Murray is going to be the best one available.
There you go. Nick Faria here on the program. One more question, then we'll get to the phone lines. Aaron Glenn is set to speak in a couple of hours here. Okay, Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback, unless AG has a surprise for us. Tyrod Taylor is going to be the quarterback. Justin Fields to the bench. But how far is Justin Fields in the bench? Because my question was to the report was, okay, that's news. But is Justin Fields QB3? Is Brady Cook QB2? Justin's now just QB2 now? Nick, do you have any insights on this before we hear from AG on that next level of the question of quarterback?
No, it's been pretty rare that we've gotten really anything on how the quarterback situation looks like. We're going to get a gauge, I would argue, probably either Friday or Saturday if Brady Cook gets called up. If Cook gets called up, he's your QB2. If he doesn't, he stays on the practice squad, then it's going to be Justin Fields. And it really is just that simple. I will argue, though, I think it's just a safe bet right now for the Jets. You've already seen what you can out of Justin Fields. You know when he's playing well, he can be serviceable, but when he's not playing well, he's completely unplayable. And it doesn't really make much sense for a 2-8 team to essentially put the starting quarterback in a position where he could and probably will play. I mean, as nice as Tyrod Taylor is, he isn't really that durable anymore. He's going to get hurt. He has historically gotten hurt after just one or two starts. So from that understanding, do you want to just throw Justin Fields back out there after you've benched him now not once but twice? That's kind of a gamble, at least right now. It doesn't really make much sense. So to me, for a team that is already in a lost season, it makes more sense for Brady Cook to get action, even to just throw him out there in those particular moments and say, listen, we're going to ride with you. We'll see how it goes and go from there. That very well could be the possibility.
Yeah, we'll see. To your point, AG's set to speak in a couple hours. Doesn't mean you have to speak to the things that we want. Hey, coach, Tyrod is this or this or this. Is he going to give that information up? Probably not. So to your point, we may have to wait till Friday or Saturday to get the real info.
I think he'll also say something along the lines of ask Diana, and then just
that'd be terrific. Well, hey, before the end of time, before the end of the season, if we can get an Ask Nick, that would be terrific. That would be great. So we'll see if that can happen. Let's go to the phone lines. That is the pin comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. You have a question for Nick, feel free to call in to the show, and we'll bring you on. Here up first is Troy Sturgis. Good morning, Troy.
Hey, Paul. Hey, Nick. Hey, just a quick thought. Mac Jones is a bad dude. I mean, we all seen it. Jeez. Okay. I cannot stand that guy, honestly. If we get him, sure, it'd probably be an upgrade in our QB room. God, he's just a terrible guy.
What makes him a bad guy?
Do what?
What makes him a bad guy?
Well, yeah, I would assume the dirtiest player in the game. You know, like the tripping and stuff like that. All that.
Seen him kicking the balls and everything.
Yeah, right. He kicks sauce in the junk, right? There's been a lot of weird stuff.
Have you not watched this guy, Nick?
Huh?
Have you not watched this guy?
No, I have. I just think that if you look at quarterbacks at their lowest or just in moments like that, okay, that's fine. But has he done anything like that over the last year and a half?
Well, no, I guess not. That I've seen, but I
really right. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen anything.
Maybe he's grown up. He was a young kid. Maybe he's grown up a little bit. We'll see.
Right. Well, let's hope so. But honestly, Paul, I'd like to see a poll for like a top 3 poll of who we would like, and you can put Mac Jones, Kyler Murray, and Gardner Minshew. I'd like to see who all the fans would like to see out of that.
Yeah. So, Nick, you should have some insights. You covered, old Minshew when he was there in Philly. So, what? Give us Minshew mania. What's that all about?
I would rather Tanner McKee over Gardner Minshew if I'm looking to get my next quarterback, just because of the unknown that is McKee. You know what you have in Minshew. He's a quality guy, quality quarterback, but is he going to help you win games? Probably not.
Okay.
Fair enough.
As far as the draft, I would like to see us if we're down at 5 or 6 and say Mendoza don't get there, I would say let's just go ahead and build the team and pick a Drew Alar or what do you got on that Garrett Nussmeier?
Yeah, LSU kid.
Yeah, I wouldn't really focus on Nussmeier. I also don't think Aller's going out of the draft either. I think he may return, particularly.
Isn't he out of eligibility?
Well, he could go for grad school. He could get that.
Oh, okay.
Say we pick up one of these free agents and then maybe pick up one of the lower quarterbacks like a Nussmeier in 5th or 6th round maybe. And
I don't.
That would build our quarterback room.
Yeah, I understand.
It'd be a weak
one, of that. I also think Nussmeier's going to New Orleans. There's too much smoke there. The father's the OC. I think it's more likely that he ends up there regardless.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the time, guys. I'm at work, so I got to get
back to it. I understand. Thank you for carving out time for Boy Green Daily. Priorities very well set for Troy Sturgis, baby, of working that in. So much appreciated here on the program. All right, up next is Mr. Famous Fulton. Mr. Fulton?
Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Nick.
Morning.
Top of the morning.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, my gosh. It's been a busy week yesterday.
Oh, yeah? What did everything go okay?
Yeah, everything went perfectly well. So
yeah,
did that raining scene with the splashing. So
oh, nice. Yeah, I imagine that's one of Nick's favorite parts. This time. Yeah.
Is it really, Nick?
Yeah. You singing in the rain, the splashing part, Nick. Is that a favorite scene of yours? Yeah.
Nah, can't say so.
Can't say so. I would say
what is your favorite?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So what is your favorite part for the singing in the rain, Nick?
I don't think I got one.
You don't got one? Come on, Nick. Everyone has one.
Yeah, everyone has one for singing in the rain. Come on, like there's the water or the singing or both. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, there you go. What else is on your mind, Mr. Famous Fulton?
Well, we have our last rehearsal tonight for Singing in the Rain.
Okay.
So, and then tomorrow's the big day. So, yep, it's going to be the big day tomorrow, Friday,
Hey, quick question, Mr.
Saturday.
Famous Fulton. We have a question from the chat.
Yeah.
Yo Home says, "How's the knee? How's the knee doing?"
Oh, my knee. It's doing okay, Paul.
All right.
I'm trying to get my knee to feel better. But it's gonna be processing right now. So I think because I do go to physical therapy on December 5th.
Nice. Okay. That'll
So
help.
yeah, so I'm gonna have exercise and everything else, and it's just living the dream.
Real quick, Dr. Faria, for a bummed up knee, what's any good suggestions? The Jets have had a lot of those. Have covered a lot of those knee injuries. How do you recover from knee action?
Well, it depends on what it is. I would say a knee brace is certainly the easiest
knee
help.
brace.
I would also recommend changing your footwear. You may have a high arch. It may actually help alleviate some of the pressure on your knee while you're walking. My dad's going through something similar right now. He changed his shoes and all of a sudden he's doing a lot better with it.
Wow. Okay, great. Phenomenal. So check out footwear there as well, Mr. Famous Fulton. Check out footwear.
I sure will. Yep.
All right.
So.
Well, good luck with your performance. Looking forward to hear more later this week, pal, and good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, I sure will. Thank you, Paul. Have a great day.
There he is, Mr. Famous Fulton, gracing us with his presence. His Indianapolis Colts doing pretty gosh darn good. We got a good Colts game. Chiefs, right? I believe it's Colts Chiefs we got this week. Oh, very nice. That should be a goodie. Let me ask you real quick about the Chiefs for no particular reason, then we'll get back to the Super Chats. Are they toast? Are you sticking a fork in them? They're outside of the playoffs right now. They're 2.5 games back because they have lost every current wild card team. They've lost the head-to-head, which is the number one tiebreaker for the playoffs. So they're out of it right now and very out. Like they need some unbelievable run to finish the season to even have a chance.
Who are the wild card teams above them? The Chargers, Bills.
Buffalo, Chargers, and Texans, I believe, are the three that they've lost.
Oh no, it's the Jags. It's the Jags.
Jags, excuse me. Yes, thank you.
We have to be honest about this.
Okay.
The Chargers and the Jaguars are two of the most weird football teams with the weirdest luck I've ever seen in my life. Okay. So while they may have the tiebreaker over the Kansas City Chiefs, do we honestly expect something just to be completely normal and for them to win out? No. The Chiefs are not out. Andy Reid is still the head coach. Patrick Mahomes is still the quarterback. It looks bleak now, but I also saw an Andy Reid team go 5-6 to start a season and lose their starting quarterback with a torn ACL, and then they did not lose again until the middle of January when they were division winners and they won a playoff game. I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to win the division now, but they are not out, and it would be foolish for anyone to expect that this team is suddenly out of it.
Okay, well, Faria refuses to give up on him, and it's hard to blame him because the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but we'll see what happens. We got a super chat coming in here. A shout out to Mahar Khalil, and all these super chats have been coming through.
Wow.
Okay, are there any number two? Are there any backup quarterbacks? This question from Mahar Khalil. Thank you for the super chat. Are there any number two quarterbacks that would fit for the Jets? Fit for transition, so they could just go trade for someone's backup this offseason, and they could be at least the temporary veteran or whatever solution for 2026. Do any names stand out to you?
Well, I think Jacoby Brissett is probably one that makes a lot of sense overall for this team. We don't know what Arizona's quarterback room is going to look like. They could look to trade up. They could look to trade for a veteran. There's a lot of different avenues that Arizona could go down to figure out where exactly they want to go. And they're in a hard division, so they're going to have a high draft pick no matter what. So I think Brissett is certainly another name. You look at any veteran, really vested veteran, and certainly that makes sense. If Joe Flacco wants to come back for another season and just kind of work around the rookie quarterback, that's certainly in play. There's a lot of signal callers out there that you can think of that are just vested backups that aren't going to be doing much, but certainly could help the long-term future, the long-term trajectory of this franchise.
Yeah, as I'm looking around, I mean, I don't know if I can interest you in any Case Keenum action. Case Keenum, that old bastard's hanging around out there in the universe. So maybe Case Keenum for you, Mahar Khalil. As I look around the league, I'm not interested in Mitchell Trubisky's. That doesn't really float the boat. Cooper Rush, when he had those opportunities in Baltimore, that didn't look great from that perspective. Jake Browning, I guess, is going to be out there, but he looked absolutely awful for Cincinnati when he was hanging out there. So I'm not sure if that's the direction you want to go with Mahar Khalil. Yeah, I'm looking through, and I just not sure who the name is. Obviously, we talked about Mac Jones earlier today as one of those options, but sometimes weird people pop up. Mahar Khalil, you added another raffle ticket, by the way, for the contest. He'd probably be the favorite of all these guys out there, but like I said, Cooper Rush, before all this Raven stuff, looked really good in his time with the Cowboys for a stint, so maybe him. But I guess the point is that these aren't sexy names. I'm not throwing out the same, like, yeah, give me some of that action. That doesn't feel like quite where a lot of these people may be going, but appreciate the question coming in. Nick Mullins, does that do anything for you, Nick?
I mean, not really, but none of these backup quarterbacks are going to. It's just a matter of finding one that fits the offense you want to run and can help nurture a young quarterback. So if they believe Mullins is that guy, if they believe Case Keenum, Flacco, Brissett, if any of these guys are legitimate, then they're going to go after him, and it would make a lot of sense.
All right, let me ask you this in the form of a question from NC Green. Did the Chiefs blow it by not trading for Breece Hall at the deadline?
No, not at all. Not at all. And again, the reason why the Chiefs are losing is not because they don't have a running back. They're losing because Patrick Mahomes had a really bad turnover in the game against Denver. The defense couldn't get a stop when they needed to. And the passing offense looks a little stale. And this is what happens with coaches who've been around the league for a very, very long time. You have to be able to adapt. And eventually Andy Reid's going to get to that point where he will adapt his scheme to the modern game. And it's going to help him out in the long run. I do think that, gun to my head, Kansas City will probably go in the free agent market and sign a running back. But just because they didn't get Breece Hall doesn't mean they're cooked, and that's the reason. They were 11-0 in one-score games last season, and some of the weirdest finishes you will ever see were part of that. Well, that is all luck. And unfortunately in the NFL, luck turns on a dime. They're 0-4, 0-5 now?
0-5, yeah.
This season, I mean, this is the flip side of when you have a lucky team from year to year. You're not able to make those changes. Look at the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders last year had all these remarkable wins. They were pulling out upset after upset, comeback after comeback. And now this year, they're 3-8, and they are on the doorstep of the number 1 overall pick, more so than a playoff berth. I mean, it changes. These things change from year to year.
When will it change for the Jets, Nick?
I don't know, man. I thought it was going to change in 2023, and then Aaron Rodgers went down. I said, okay, well, that just means 2024 is going to be great. And then that went absolutely haywire. So I do think if you look at the trajectory of the team and the way that they're building this, they are going to put a rookie quarterback in the best situation they have put a signal caller since Mark Sanchez in 2009. This offensive line is going to be really, really good for a really, really long time. You've got a number 1 receiver, and if you keep Breece Hall, you have a number 1 running back. You have a quality tight end. You're going to need to spend money on a number 2, number 3 wide receiver. You're going to need to spend money on a defense. But Sam Darnold did not have the offensive line that Fernando Mendoza could potentially walk into. Zach Wilson didn't have the offensive line that Fernando Mendoza could potentially be walking into. And that changes how a quarterback can develop with an organization. If you are keeping a young signal caller upright, you're giving him an opportunity to learn the game at a smart pace. That, to me, is what can fundamentally change everything for this Jets team and this organization, because for the first time in over a decade, they finally get it. We have to keep a young quarterback upright if we want him to actually look like a franchise signal caller.
So that part gives you some hope, certainly for the future, for the New York Jets. Whatever quarterback is going to be playing in there will make them feel better about it. Shout out to Darren McCollum here, who hit the re-sign button in the Boy Green Coffee Club. Appreciate you. Beautiful Marty Lyons autograph bonanza giveaway, a beautiful autographed Marty Lyons jersey and an autographed Marty Lyons hat. Both are included. We'll be giving that away on December 1st. Darren, you're in the running for hitting that re-sign button and becoming a YouTube member here on the Boy Green Coffee Club. You guys all have that option available in the YouTube description down below. Shout out to you, Darren, for that. And we'll add that to your total. You have a raffle ticket now. Nick, the Jets play the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. And depending on the line you look at, they're either a 13.5 point underdog, 14.5, 15.5. I think I saw a book earlier today that had them at 16.5, which is 3 scores. Interesting. So I throw it to you, Nick Faria. What chances do you give the New York Jets going into Baltimore and pulling off the upset against one of the hottest teams in football?
This would probably be the biggest upset in the NFL over the last couple of seasons if New York's going to walk in and pull off this upset. I don't see it happening, and I do think Baltimore could cover. That's how good they're playing. That's how poor the Jets look at times on offense. I just think this is a recipe for disaster. And again, people are going to be angry after the loss and say, "Oh my God, this coaching staff can't coach. It's this, it's that." Quite frankly, they don't have the players right now. They don't have the horses to compete with a team like Baltimore. And that's okay. That's okay. Instead of freaking out about it, instead of screaming to high heavens that the coaching staff stinks and this is the reason why, we need to take a step back and realize, okay, yeah, it doesn't look good, but you're playing one of the top teams in the NFL, who's been one of the top teams in the NFL since Harbaugh became coach. This is not the game to look for, oh, we need to see X, Y, and Z from the passing game, and we need to see X, Y, and Z from the defense, and go on from there. Take your lickings, get the higher draft pick, and move forward from there.
Let me just ask you this. The Jets have not had an interception so far this season. That's not in the form of the question. That part's a statement. If the Jets don't get a pick against the Baltimore Ravens, they become the first team in NFL history to not have an interception through the first 12 weeks of the season. Nick Faria, do the Jets get their first interception of the season, or interceptions? It could be more than one of the season against the Baltimore Ravens. So Lamar Jackson just threw 2 picks last week against the Browns.
No. And the only reason why I say that is because he's throwing and running for his life against Myles Garrett. That Browns defense is legit. It is a legitimate unit that is one of the most feared in the NFL right now, and they just don't have a quarterback. This Jets defense is a lot different. I think their defensive line has gotten a lot better, and I've loved what I've seen in the improvements that they've made. But if I were a betting man, Lamar Jackson against this secondary, it doesn't matter who he's throwing to. I don't like the matchup at all.
Okay, let's get into some revenge game angles. Tyrod Taylor against the team that drafted him 1,000 years ago. I mean, he could probably have a revenge game against every team in the league based on everywhere he's played. Is there any juice there? Revenge game? Tyrod Taylor, old team, gets his start here for the Jets for the first time, not because of injury, because they just chose him. Week 3 was injury. He had no, it is what it was. Like this time, the coach is choosing him. Revenge game? Tyrod Taylor? Huh?
The guy's 36. I don't see that as a case at all, of a revenge game for that. But, it's the way that I look at this game for the Jets. It's just, if you show any flashes, great, take it, run with it to the bank. This is not an offense that you want to say, oh, the offensive coordinator needs to do X, Y, and Z with all these problems at quarterback and all these questions at wide receiver. I would like, and I would hope to see this offense put up over 150 passing yards, which they have not done in 4 of the last 5 games, which is just absolute insanity when you think about it. But I look at it from the perspective of what the Jets need right now. Any flash, whether it's from John Mechie, whether it's from A.D. Mitchell, whoever it is, that will be taken to the bank and run away like they won the Super Bowl. There's just nothing really here that I look at and say, well, they could do this, they could do that. Baltimore's susceptible to this. The Jets are really good at running the football, and the Baltimore Ravens are going to know that. And that's where I'm like, okay, well, they're going to stop the run, and they're going to force Tyrod Taylor to make throws. And I don't know if he can anymore.
Brandon Stevens' revenge game. He was just there. This is fresh. Brandon Stevens' revenge game. Nick.
Well, I know for a fact that he's played a lot better than Jet fans want to give him credit for. Sure. At one point before the Patriots game, he was actually on pace for an all-pro caliber season. He was compared in a lot of ways in coverage grades to that of Quinyon Mitchell and a lot of these other outside corners. But he had a bad Patriots game. No one's going to deny that. So that obviously takes the toll. And that zone coverage got absolutely destroyed by Drake May. But I think he's played a lot better than Jet fans want to give him credit for. He looks like a starting corner and looks like a starting corner on a very fair price tag. He's not being overpaid. He's not a hindrance to the salary cap. He's a starting corner that's playing like it. And I think that's as good of a compliment as I could give Brandon Stevens after the rough start to the season he had. But Baltimore essentially ushered him out the door. So if there is a revenge game, if there's a player that I think could get the interception, it's probably him, because he probably wants to do it more than anyone against this particular team to show that, listen, I am not this terrible player that Raven fans think I am. I belong in the NFL, and here's why. I certainly think he could be the guy that comes away with the interception.
Yeah, and again, you take this for what you will. I don't know how big of a factor this should be, but what some Jet fans will do once a new player is signed, that, if they sign Patrick Mahomes, okay, we all know who that guy is. But like Brandon Stevens, I don't know how many Jet fans knew who that was before he was signed, so they go rushing to start Google highlight searching things. And one of the things they may have saw on social media is Raven fans celebrating that Brandon Stevens was gone. So now he has a chance to go back there. By the way, we have over 400 people in the room, and 100 plus of those 400 are on YouTube, yet only 50 YouTube likes. Stop holding out on the YouTube likes. Jeez, hello. I've got a family to feed, for God's sake. So make sure you guys like the video. Okay, another revenge game angle here, Nick Faria. John Simpson. Revenge game. John Simpson. Revenge.
Well, he already plays with an edge, so I'm sure he'll try to find something a little bit different to get a couple pancakes in and whatnot.
There you go. Although, he should probably be thanking the Ravens, because it looked like his career was about to end in the NFL with the Raiders, and the Ravens saved him. But still, revenge. They're the enemy. They're on the other side. That's what I'm talking about here. A super chat coming in from Hennessy Heisman here. Let's highlight this here on the program. Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Hennessy, thank you for the super chat. Will the Cleveland Browns, New Orleans Saints, and/or Las Vegas Raiders win another game this season, Nick Faria?
I think it's fair. It's a fair bet to say that all of them will win at least one more game. Guys, there's 7 games left in the regular season. A lot is going to change in this draft order. This is not going to be the same draft order it was. There's going to be a lot of movement from a week-to-week basis. Patience, let the games play out.
Well, for instance, some of them have to. The Browns play the Raiders this weekend, so unless it's a tie, they're going to literally play each other. So there's a win there coming up on the schedule. I have the Browns schedule in front of me here. They play the Raiders. Okay. They play the Titans later this season. That could definitely be a win. And then the Bengals, who knows what they'll be at the end of the season. So, yeah, there's easily, 2-3 wins that could be happening here for Cleveland for sure. You go over to this Raiders team. They got Geno Smith, man, and I know he's been playing like dump, but eventually I imagine they're going to catch a team with their pants down. We mentioned they play the Browns. They got the Chargers, Broncos, Eagles, Texans, Giants. There's a Giants game in there, so the Raiders could potentially win that one. What was the final one here, Nick? What was that, Saints?
Yeah.
Okay, and then let's see what the Saints have here as the final nugget of this super chat. Let's see. Obviously, they got the Jets. That's coming up. They have Falcons. That'll be Kirk Cousins' first start. So we'll see. Dolphins are not good. Bucks are good. Panthers have been 50-50. Jets, Titans, yeah. There's 100%. So Nick was right. See, Nick's always right. We should never question Nick. Everything Nick says is right. And he's right. First off, some of these teams play each other. So inevitably there has to be wins. And also there's going to be some combating here. What's your prediction? Where do you think the Jets end up in the draft? Right now, if the draft started today, they have the 5th overall pick. Where do you think they end up?
I think they'll end up probably around 3.
Okay. And is that good?
I think
Should Jet fans be happy about that?
Yeah, I think Tennessee will probably end up at 1. And then, I don't know. The Giants are such a mess right now with all these injuries. That certainly can happen. I think we could be in a situation here where it's Titans at 1, Saints at 2, Jets at 3. And then the Saints and Titans go best player available, and then Mendoza falls in the lap of the Jets.
Should they be worried about a team trading up, or are these quarterbacks not worthy for that kind of conversation?
Everyone should be worried about a quarterback being traded up. But if you're going to trade up for a quarterback, you better make sure he's a Drake May kind of guy or a Jaden Daniels type of guy first. I look at Fernando Mendoza as Jared Goff, and he is more than fair of a Pro Bowl quarterback who can get your team on the right track. He helped rebuild 2 franchises, the Rams and the Lions. He was a part of both rebuilds, and they've got him both in the conference championship game. He's been to a Super Bowl. This is not a bad quarterback. Is he along the same echelon as the Mahomes, the Josh Allens? Probably not. But for the Jets, you need competent quarterback play. You need a guy that can come in and change everything for this offense. And a better fit for this scheme is Fernando Mendoza. And I look at Mendoza, and people will always say Jared Goff. There are some similarities as well to Matt Ryan when he was coming out of Boston College. What overall pick was he drafted? The 3rd overall pick.
Matty Ice. Ooh, okay. I like the cut of the jib. All right, let's go to another super chat here. How about them Jets getting involved? Sure.
Wow.
I'm always excited week 1 and then the draft, SMH. Let me ask you, Nick, as a guy who covers the team, what do you enjoy more? The draft and all that coverage? Obviously, the Jets are getting new players. It's just which players they're going to get, or like the season and being there and like all hope and everyone's undefeated at 0-0. Which one do you prefer as a reporter?
Oh, I don't prefer any of it. I absolutely love everything. You're never going to hear me complain about any aspect of the NFL. The only thing that stinks is like if you're in the 4th quarter of a game, your team's down by 4 scores in. And there's just, okay, you get the post-game article in, you go downstairs, it's like, all right, well, that sucked. Because players don't really want to talk. Everyone just kind of wants to get the hell out of there and move forward with their lives. So that's the part that kind of stinks. But even then, you're in a press box for an NFL team. I mean, this is living the dream right here, man. There's nothing here that I look at and say, oh, this stinks, and I'm looking forward to this, and this. It's all fantastic.
I love that take. Hey, by the way, because I don't know if I've ever asked you this, the food at MetLife, the press box, that I'll tell you, when I got to cover something, and it was local here first, it was the first time I ever did it, I covered the Syracuse football team. I'm up in the press box, and I'm like, again, a lot of imposter syndrome when you do that for the first time. You're like, holy shit, am I supposed to be here? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I just see this tub over in the corner, and I'm just seeing a lot of reporters keep going into it. I'm like, what the hell are they going in there for? And it just like cold drinks. Just for the media. And I went like, can we just take these? Like, yeah, you're media, aren't you? I'm like, oh, well, that's what the pass says. Okay. And you just get food and drink. There's food catered. Like, oh my God. This is like you get the best seat in the house. You get a great seat depending on, the stadium. Sometimes press boxes are in different places. You get drink, food. You're covering the game. I mean, this is terrific. So how's the food at MetLife? What's a catering situation for you media guys? Good.
Oh, I actually am one of the few that actually likes MetLife food, but also because they serve the foods that I actually like. Chicken tenders,
nice.
mozzarella sticks, like that kind of stuff. So
cool.
They've got a lot of unhealthy foods, but for me being a fat ass, I'm always the one that's like, yes, sign me up right away. And I will say the NFL does it differently than the other sports leagues. So I've covered the NHL, I've covered baseball, covered basketball. Paul, they give you vouchers. You have to pay for a voucher in order to get food. And I've always hated that. I always hate it. The NFL is completely free. So I look at this and I'm like, this is perfection personified. You may not like the food. It may not be this, it may not be that. You will never hear me complain about fresh food because it is fantastic no matter what.
Oh, delicious.
Free is fantastic.
Yeah, that's my favorite flavor, baby. I absolutely love it. And I hope one day before I'm dead, I'm covering the Jets in some credential manner. I can't wait for the food to watch a game. That is going to be magnificent. All right, let's get another super chat in here. Now, Nick, I think you've become aware of this over the few times that you've joined the show here, but Stephen Fox sends in a super chat. Thank you, Stephen, for this.
Wow.
Well, I look like Nick's brother after the bet. If the Jets lose to the Baltimore Ravens, most of my beard is gone. Now, Nick, what do you have on the face there? How much action do you have? If you had to, what's that? A 1, a 2? What do you got going on there?
I mean, it's low. I'm gonna have to shave eventually, in the near future. So it's gonna be gone as well.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm Portuguese, man. This thing comes back in a day. So it's just a matter of exactly how long I want to wait.
Do you normally have it sort of in that length if you do have a beard, or do you have it longer than that?
Yeah, I'll probably have it like around here, maybe a little bit longer, but not too long.
So the point is that I may, if the Jets lose to Ravens, which according to a 16.5-point spread I saw earlier, seems likely, if that's going to happen, although I still believe that it's going to happen. I'm not just trying to convince myself. I totally believe it for sure. But Nick, any advice for that level of beard action? I mean, I imagine less upkeep because I got to do all kinds of stuff for this thing. So less upkeep is probably good. Any other tips or tricks if the Jets lose and I'm going to have to shave this thing down to barely? I'm still gonna have hair on the face. It doesn't have to be clean shaven all the way down, but most of it's gonna be gone. Any advice, tips, or tricks?
No, I think the one thing is just make sure you dress warmly because the weather changes certainly affects the lack of coverage there at your neck. So wear a scarf, wear a sweatshirt. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I will say that is one of the most underrated things. I've had a long beard for a long time, but in the moments that I haven't had a long beard, and I just randomly say, you know what? Let me just have an appearance change here, and then I go outside. I'm like, oh, good Lord! Like that's something you don't factor in, but it's a massive factor. It's absolutely a massive factor when we're talking about all this. So I appreciate all the insights, Nick, from delicious food and the MetLife press box to me potentially having to shave off my beard. I mean, we've covered a lot of ground here, Nick Faria, and I think it's a new Wednesday vibe. I think that's the difference. I think that's the sauce that's been mixed in here, sir.
Absolutely. Definitely the way to do it.
Well, Nick, I'm looking forward to, again, maybe today's CHE presser. Ask Nick. Oh, no, Coach, I just want to ask Nick. Ask Nick. Nick Faria. Ask Nick. So as soon as that happens, I'm just going to, whoever has those bets out there in the universe, those futures bets, and go boom on the Ask Nick. We're looking forward to it, pal.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Thanks so much, Paul.
All right, thanks, buddy. There he is, Nick Faria, our Jets beat reporter from JetsXFactor.com. He'll be now joining us every Wednesday moving forward at 8 o'clock. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to the cool stuff. I hope we can ask more questions of that about that of Nick in the future. I'm curious about the media job and some of those behind the scenes. That's super interesting. Still the real AD. Paul, F that bet. Let the beard gang unite. I'm a man of my word. I would not just if the Jets lose to Ravens, I'm not gonna hold on, screw you. I live in New York. There's nothing you can do. I'm gonna keep my beard. I wouldn't be a man of my word. So if the Jets lose, I will have to shave most of the beard off. And if you guys send in 100 memberships in that window next week, if they do lose, I will have to shave it live. So no, I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word. I hope I don't, because I, to be honest, I love my beard. And someone asked this question the other day. I didn't get to it, so I apologize. So I'll get to it right now. Someone asked, oh, how does your fiance feel about the beard bet? Not good. She is a major advocate for the beard. To be honest, the reason that the beard is the length that it is because of her, because I used to keep it pretty low. It was always there, but I kept it low when I was younger. As I've gotten older, the beard, I've been with my fiance for 11 years, it's gotten bigger. The longest I've ever had is probably mid-chest. I really grew it out. I mean, down to here. So I haven't had that in a bunch of years, but I have had it this sort of length for a while. So again, hopefully it can maintain this length. It's a winter season, holidays and all that. I'd like to keep it that way. We'll need to rely on the Jets and Tyrod Taylor for the revenge game angle. All righty. We'll see if that happens. Well, folks, let me get to the, that's 1,000% true. Still the real ID. Paul, happy wife, happy LOL. Yeah, you're damn straight, buddy. So I might be sleeping on the couch for a while if the Jets lose. So there may be some long-term ramifications of this Alon bet. Long story short. Let's go back to the poll to finish up the show. Would we, as Jet fans, be interested in Mac Jones being the QB1 in 2026 via trade? Yes, clear upgrade, or no, I hate Mac Jones. The final poll will result around 61 to 39%, 61% in favor, which again sort of disgusts me because, again, Mac Jones has always bothered me, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We need a quarterback, and, well, damn it, he's pretty viable. Clear upgrade over what we've seen this season. We'll see. AG is set to speak later today. I'll be live again in 2 hours. We got a live show with PFF NFL analyst Dalton Wassman. You guys can feel free to interact on that live show coming up here on the program, which will be great. We'll talk overall NFL and preview some of the games and things of that nature. So we'll have some of that coming up here on the show. We got a Jake Asman interview, so we'll talk more Jets later today. You guys can find that on the channel as well. We got Survivor tonight. If you guys are saying, whoa, Boy Green's going live late at night, it's for the CBS reality show Survivor, which I hope I'm on one day. If you guys enjoy that, you can watch the CBS show Survivor at 8 o'clock. At 9:45 after the show's over, we come on and talk some Survivor. So that's the really only non-sports thing that I do. So if you guys enjoy that flavor, feel free to tune in tonight. That'll be at 9:45-ish this evening. So a lot of content coming up here on the channel. And remember, folks, shout out to my pop. I just watched Rudy last night. I'm going to Notre Dame for the first time ever. I'm going to South Bend with my dad. This is going to be the coolest thing of all time. And I can't wait to go. Me and my dad are going to see the Syracuse Notre Dame game. We're going to get the traditions and the everything. It's going to be awesome. What a bucket list item to be able to check off with my old man. I'm flying out tomorrow. So flying out on Thursday. So I'll do Boy Green meets Woody from the airport, jump on an airplane and boop. And we'll keep you posted on all the shows and all that content and everything that's happening. So we will see. It should still be on. Yeah, Jake, our boy Jake Klein says, Survivor still on TV? Yeah, 25 years. They're currently in season 49. Season 50 comes out in the spring. And yes, the show is still on. Jeff Probst is still the host, Jake Klein. That is true. Survivor, the CBS reality show. Yes. Alon says, am I pissing off the fiance? Very possible if I lose. Yes. But she won't throw her hate at you, Alon. I imagine it'd be directed at me because I made the bet. I'm my own man. So we'll see. Fox Sports Talk, our boy Foxy said, have a great time. I can't wait. I can't put it into words. What we will do is do a bunch of videos. So you guys will see those on the channel, YouTube shorts and stuff from the Notre Dame campus and stuff. I can't wait. So that's going to be awesome. So appreciate you guys. Well, thanks for tuning into the show. Again, we'll be back live in about 2 hours. We'll see you at 11 o'clock with our PFF NFL analyst, Dalton Wasserman. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into another episode of Boy Green Daily. We'll see you tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily or throughout the day today here on youtube.com/BoyGreen25. Again, for the folks watching live or after the fact, like the video. It is free to do. It's a free way to contribute to the show. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you again soon.